The world of content creation where retention is everything. What better way to keep an audience engaged at the edge of their seats than with the thrill of a race? Welcome to the Arc of Charm, where we explore the mechanics that makes experiences unforgettable. Today we're shifting it into a higher gear, where we examine the racing dynamic, a mechanic that's been captivating people for years, or decades. But this isn't just about crossing a finish line. It's about understanding the perfect balance of speed, strategy, and surprise that keeps people coming back for more. Whether you're a game designer, whether you're a storyteller, or someone who loves a good adrenaline rush, understanding the intricacies of racing mechanics is a way you can revolutionize how you think about engagement. So buckle up. We're about to take a deeper dive or a deeper ride into the world of racing dynamics, explore how they intersect with compelling narratives, and discover why this mechanic continues to lap the competition, whether it comes to audience engagement or attention. By the end of this episode, you'll see racing in a whole new light, not just as a game mechanic, but as a very powerful tool to create experiences that stick your audience long after they've crossed the finish line. Are you ready to start your engines? Racing is not just about crossing a finish line. It's like a spectrum of challenges that tests a player's skill, strategy, and adaptability. From pure speed to traditional racing, through tactical navigation of trap-laden tracks, each variation adds a unique flavor to the racing dynamic. In games like Gran Turismo, it's all about raw speed and precision. But shift gears to F-Zero, and suddenly you're managing your speed through the boost zones and the traps laid out, or the turns that come along the way. Trackmania puts you against the clock, while trials keep you moving or face an instant failure, since if you go too fast, you fail. And you cannot forget the chaotic strategy of Mario, where your position changes in 1 split seconds, but the rewards that you get, the further behind the race, are much better than someone who's far ahead, evening the odds. So these spectrum of racing mechanics show us the thrill of the race can come in many forms. It's not just about who's the fastest, but who adapts to the unique challenges that are always available at every situation. Sometimes they're not opportunities, sometimes they're traps. So, let's palletize that part of the graphic with a story, shall we? In a bustling metropolis of Zenith City, the Skyward family was synonymous with speed, innovation, and relentless pursuit of pushing the boundaries of flight. For generations, the Skywards had been at the forefront of aerospace engineering, and their company Aerovista, leading the industry in cutting-edge aircraft design. Jack Skyward, the charismatic CEO, embodied the family's ethos of the faster, higher, further. His wife Elena, head of design, was renowned for her sleek aerodynamic creations that seemed to defy the laws of physics. Their daughter Arya had recently taken charge of the hospitality division, ensuring that the Aerovista clients were experienced luxury at supersonic speeds. But their son, Tim Skyward, was cut from a different cloth. While the rest of his family soared through life at a breakneck pace, Tim found solace in stillness. His fascination lay not in the roar of a jet engine, but in the quiet rustle of insect wings and the patient instruction of spiderwebs. On a typical day, as the Aerovista headquarters buzzed with frenetic energy, Tim could be found in the peaceful halls of Zenith Natural History Museum. In the entomology lab, under the mentorship of Dr. Lena Moss, Tim spent hours observing the intricate societies of ants and the methodical web spinning of arachnids. Look at this leaf cutter quality, Tim marveled, his eyes fixed on a glass terrarium. They've been cultivating this fungus garden for weeks. Each ant knows its role, working in perfect harmony, without a single word spoken. Dr. Moss nodded appreciatively. Nature has perfected efficiency over millions of years of evolution. There's tiny creatures. These tiny creatures can teach us so much if we have the patience to observe. Meanwhile, across town, the Skyward clan was embroiled in their latest crisis. Jack's voice boomed through the Arabista boardroom. The Skyscreen X needs to break Mach 3, or we can kiss that military contract goodbye. Elena, where are those new engine schematics? Elena's fingers flew across her tablet, sketching designs at a furious pace. Aurea juggled calls from anxious investors. Her voice practiced a calm masking underlying stress. As the day wore on, Tim's phone buzzed incessantly with messages from his family. Where are you? We need you at the office ASAP. The future of Aerovista is at stake. But Tim was lost in a world of patient observation and quiet innovation. The silence of the lab, surrounded by creatures that had perfected their craft over eons, had felt more alive and inspired than he had ever had in the noisy, rushed world of Aerovista. As he watched the spider meticulously construct its web, an idea began to form into his mind. What if the aircraft that could be designed not just for speed but for adaptability? What if planes could respond to their environment the way these creatures did, prioritizing efficiency and resilience over all power? The sun was setting over Eden City when Tim finally emerged from the museum, his mind buzzing with possibilities. He knew his ideas would be met with resistance, but Skyward Legacy was built on speed and the power, not slow observation and biomimicry. But as he walked home, the city lights flickering to life around him, Tim felt a sense of purpose he never experienced before. He was onto something revolutionary, a new approach to flight that could change not just Aerovista, but the entire concept of air travel. The journey ahead would be challenging. He'd have to convince his family and the board and an entire industry to see his ways. But Tim had learned patience from the ants and persistence from spiders. He was ready to weave a new future for the Skyward Legacy, one careful strand at a time. As he reached the Skyward headquarters, its sleek lines a testament to his family love of aerodynamics, Tim took a deep breath. Tomorrow he would begin the task of bridging two worlds, rushing pace of Aerovista, the patient wisdom of nature. Wouldn't be easy, but then again, true innovation never was. The Skyward Legacy was about to take flight in a whole new direction, guided by the unlikely inspiration of small creatures that crawl and spin in the quiet corners of the world. As we explored the spectrum of racing mechanics and delved into Tim Skyward's story, we've uncovered a profound truth about engagement and innovation. Just as racing games have evolved from simple speed contests to complex strategic experiences, Tim's journey shows us that true progress often comes from unexpected places. The racing dynamic teaches us that engagement isn't always about going faster. Sometimes it's about slowing down, observing the details, finding new paths forward. Tim's fascination with the methodical world of insects challenges us to reconsider our assumptions about speed and efficiency. In game design, and as in life, most captivating experiences often come from balancing different paces. A thrill of speed with the depth of strategy. The rush of competition with the satisfaction of careful plan. As we conclude this episode of The Art of Charm, ask yourself, where in your life or work do you benefit from slowing down and observe? What innovations might you discover if you take the time to look closely at the world around you? Remember, sometimes the fastest way forward is to slow down and observe whether you're designing a game, building an aircraft, or simply navigating your daily life. There's value in both speed and stillness. Until next time, keep your eyes open, your mind curious, and of course, don't be afraid to find inspiration in unexpected places. After all, the next big innovation is just be crawling right under your feet.